Hey Internet, Sarge here. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, as we are just now starting a new year and a new quarter, that means it's time to sit down, do the classic What's in My Wallet video, going into the winter Q1 of 2023. So in typical fashion, I'll show you all the cards I'm using as well as the changes I've made to the lineup and where I'm headed, at least where I think I'm headed on paper, in pencil, of course, for this year as far as credit cards go. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, overall, these are videos that we generally do once a quarter because people generally really like them. It's a time where we can come together and all talk about the various cards and strategies that we have. So they're pretty fun. So definitely play along down below. Let me know what you're using or what cards I should be considering or swapping out. Love to get your thoughts on that. Now, I always do this because it's funny and people still get a laugh out of it. This is my big wallet. This is what I call my bench. So all the cards that I have to choose from kind of go in here. Well, I mean, this is like a Home Depot gift card, but it's like Amazon, $15. There's a link. There's affiliate links down below if you're interested. I don't actually carry this though. I mean, I guess if you're a woman, you can put it in a purse, but I don't carry it. Carry a Belroy slim sleeve. It holds a few cards, ID. Yes, there is cash in here, believe it or not. But you know, I've had this for years and years and years. So none of this is sponsored. But again, if you're wondering what the wallets we use, there they are. Now, of course, I'll put a slide on screen with all the cards I have to choose from. And the idea is, again, you just go through and you pick your best card, marry it up to the best multiplier. And then, you know, depending on your goal, if you're traveling more or cash back more, you kind of change it up to whatever works for you. So we're going to go through mine, and we will start with changes to the lineup. Now, I didn't add any new cards. I thought I was going to, but I didn't end up doing that. So I was still using the Citi Double Cash. Honestly, I get distracted by the 5% cards, as some of you might know by now. So, but the Double Cash gave you 6 months to hit their $200 bonus, which required $1,500 to spend. So I wasn't really in a rush. I still technically think I have 3 months to spend another $100 or so on it. So no real rush. You might as well use it as an actual catch-all card and still maximize it since they give you so much runway to do it. But as a result, I still really don't like to bounce between two sign-up bonuses at one time. Just, you know, it's bad form. So I just to make sure, I just kept it as is and used the cards I had. However, I did have one casualty of the game, and I have a whole video on it. But I did cancel the Delta Platinum card. The Delta Amex Delta Platinum card. Now, overall, I mean, I said it before. I don't think it's a bad card. It just really wasn't that good card for me. I don't check bags. Priority boarding is very overrated, and the companion pass is okay. I mean, I've never had a problem using it personally, though I know it is difficult for some. But I really just didn't want to pay the $250 annual fee. Now, funny enough, I did actually use the global entry credit right before I canceled it, so I was not offered a retention offer. I'm sure American Express saw that and was like, "No, we're not giving you anything." But that's fine. So full video on that down below. But that's the only change. Now, we'll get into it here and what I'm using. So again, I always start with the Chase Freedom cards because I have so many of them. A Freedom Flex, 2 OG Freedoms as well. I may be getting another one, but we'll talk about that at the end. So this one this time sees around 5% groceries and Target and gyms. Now I already have gyms covered, and it's kind of annoying to switch my gym credit card. So I probably won't do that. Groceries and Target will be enough. So that's how I'll use these cards. Now, a quick note on these. I used to just max out one and then go to the other ones. But because a lot of issuers start to look at how you use all of your credit, I stopped doing that and I start to use them all equally, right? I got put, you know, a few $100s here, then here, then here. And the reason is, like, when I got denied for the Citi Premier last summer, they were like, hey, you have too much available credit, which means you don't use your credit, which means you're not going to be a profitable customer. So rotating the spend on those, I think, helps, so I don't have 2 dormant cards. You know, I have all 3 are being used, which goes a long way, especially considering all the other cards I have and they all don't get used. So again, that is going to be the Chase and groceries. Now with that, we'll move on to gas next. So gas, a staple for me is the Citi Custom Cash. Now, of course, you can use this for whichever category you want on the list, but for me, the best way to look at it is where do you spend the most, because I could have used this at restaurants, but I don't eat out a ton. I usually eat at home, so for me, gas stations made the most sense there. Yeah, I don't spend a ton on gas either, but That's kind of, you're wondering how to match it up. When you have a card that could go either way, I just look at which ones I spend the most in. So for me, that'll be the custom cash back in the lineup. Now, the next one here is another set it and forget it card, and that is the US Bank Cash Plus. Now, I use this one for my gym membership, and so it's on file with the gym. Now, admittedly, I don't love US Bank cards. Their redemptions really annoy me. I've ranted about this before, so I'm still looking for a replacement for this card because of how annoying US Bank is to me personally. It's actually the reason I don't have the Altitude Go yet. It might just be me, but yes, having to redeem in increments of 25, having to redeem to a US Bank account or just statement credits really annoys me. So I think I am looking for a replacement for this, but I also use it for utilities as well. It's a good option there. So another set it and forget it card. Now, continuing on the train of 5% back, we have one of my favorites is the Ink Cash card. Guys will know why I'm using this. It's cell phone and internet, and of course the occasional office supply store when gift cards are on sale. So I do enjoy buying my gift cards. So it's another one of my favorites. That will be in rotation as well. Now, we do have groceries here, and groceries for me, well, no, sorry, we covered groceries. The Business Voice is usually my grocery card for Huntington Bank. However, groceries is covered, so I'm going to flip this to be my restaurant card. This is another good category card. You only get one category, but again, you can choose it each quarter, up to 4x back. There's no way I'll spend $7,000 at restaurants. Again, I could have used the Freedom Flex or Freedom Unlimited, but that's 3 back. If I'm playing strong cash back, then might as well bump it up to 4 because I have the card. And then rounding us out will be the Citi Double Cash. Citi Double Cash, again, I still need to do like $100 or so to finally get that $200. But again, I picked up the Citi Double Cash to product change it later in life to a custom cash. I've only had it for 3 months, so it's still too soon. So Double Cash will serve as my catch-all card, which is what it was meant to be. So really, that's what I'm using, and overall, we're using a decent amount of the cards I have. Again, if you're new here, you can see that I'm pretty strong straight cash back these days, and I kind of like it because cash back, you can use cards from different issuers, and you don't really have to worry about points, currencies, and things like that. Again, so long as you can cash them out to a bank account. Even Huntington, you can cash out to another bank account. You do have to have a minimum of 25, but it doesn't have to be in increments. So again, that's why US Bank annoys me, because all these other cards allow me to just pull my cash back out at the end of the year, which is something I like to do. So with that, what is on the radar? Well, some of the stuff I've talked about before. Chase, again, I'm like 324. I don't know how long the ink bonuses are going to be around. Again, at the time of taping, they're around. When you see this, they might be gone. But what I want to do is, I think in February, I'll have had the ink unlimited for 2 years, which means I could product change it to a second ink cash. So you can never have too much access to 5% gift cards. Then reapply for ink unlimited if it's still that elevated $900 bonus. Honestly, I'd probably still do it even if it dropped down to $750. Just makes a lot of sense to get that one. Then you'd have to look at, I was originally going to say take my Freedom Unlimited, flip it to another Freedom Flex, and then reapply for the Freedom Unlimited. But now that it's groceries Q1, it doesn't really make sense to have 3 freedoms and getting 5x on groceries and then add a Freedom Unlimited. The part of that bonus would be 5x on groceries as well. And another note here, I have learned that it is much more challenging, if not impossible, now to product change to an OG Freedom card. Looks like they are blocking that. However, I was talking to a friend of the channel, John from Bank Account Bonus Central, the other day. He was able to product change to another Freedom Flex card, so he has 2 Freedom Flexes, so it looks like that is still doable. You just can't go to the OG Freedom anymore, so if you're going to do it, just make sure you've at least got bonus on both of those. So that would be an option as well. And then you're talking about one more Chase card just to maximize your time at Chase, personal side at least. And then move on. Business side, originally I was going to open up a PNC bank account, a business bank account with them, part of the other channel run on the bank, where of course we partner bank account bonuses with credit cards for like maximum earning. And so they have a PNC as like unlimited cash card. It's blue. They're offering like a $400 sign-up bonus for like $3,000 in spend, which isn't bad because normally those cards kind of hang out at $300, so elevated $100. Not too bad. So I think I'm going to get that one as well when I open up that PNC account. I think usually PNC, they call you. Usually if they call you, it's also tried to cross-sell you. Like when you apply, they're like, okay, hey, we're going to call and check on you, see if we can offer you anything else, which would be a great time to see if you're pre-approved. I don't mind hard pulls in the least bit, but I mean, why give up a free hard pull if I don't have to? So that's kind of the strategy there. But I think that will take me through Q1. Long term, I am kind of keeping an eye on Bank of America and a potential preferred rewards play that I could make with an old 401k that I could technically move over to Merrill Lynch. You know, that could make their cards become interesting, but that's probably going to be more of a Q2, Q3 conversation, but of course, you know we'll make videos on it. So anyways, guys, that is going to be my credit card lineup for the first quarter of this year. Again, predominantly cash back, and even the cards I'm targeting are going to be cash back. You know, I find cash back more fun, and ever since we started the second channel about, you know, taking all the bank's money, I've just become obsessed with taking all the bank's money in the form of cash. So, you know, I'm sure we'll have some Travel Faithfuls sounding off down below. But anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. Of course, if you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every week and right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Again, question for you guys, sound off down below. Let me know what cards I'm not considering that I should be. Am I too harsh on US Bank? And of course, what cards are you using? What are your goals, be it cashback or travel, at least in Q1, and your, you know, outline or roadmap for the next rest of this year. Love to hear from you. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and talk to you very soon in the next one.